Imagine fighting for 3 years to secure vital support for your child's medical and educational needs, only to face rejection after rejection. This is my family's reality in pursuing Social Security disability benefits for my daughter, who lives with complex medical and learning disabilities. This struggle isn't just personal, it affects thousands of families across the country, draining their emotional and financial resources while denying vulnerable children the support that they desperately need. Understanding and fixing this broken system is critical for promoting equity and compassion in our society. Today, I'll convince you that the Social Security disability system for children must be reformed to address long wait times, confusing paperwork, and repeated denials. While exploring the systematic problems families face, propose practical solutions to improve outcomes, call for collective action to advocate for policy changes, and highlight the broader societal benefits of a system that prioritizes these vulnerable children. First, let's examine the systematic problems. The average processing time for Social Security disability claims for children is approximately 6 to 12 months, often longer for appeals. These delays create financial instability as families depend on benefits for medical care and educational support. For example, my family waited a year for our initial decision, unable to afford the therapies that my daughter needed. Next, the paperwork is overwhelming. Complex forms and extensive medical documentation confuses families, especially those without legal or medical expertise. I remember struggling with unclear instructions, resubmitting forms multiple times, each delay stretching our resources thinner. Worse, over 60% of initial Social Security disability applications for children are denied, often due to technical errors or subjective evaluations. The appeals process is so difficult that families give up after being denied the first time. These challenges take a toll. Families face stress, anxiety, and financial hardship. And in my case, repeated denials meant that we couldn't afford critical therapies, impacting my daughter's care and our family's well-being. Now let's consider solutions to fix this broken system. First, we must simplify the application process. Clear, friendly guides and user-friendly online portals with real-time tracking can reduce errors and improve accessibility. Imagine an online system where families can track their application like a package delivery, with clear instructions at every step. Second, we need better communication. Assigning dedicated caseworkers to guide families and offering multilingual sources and virtual consultations would make the process inclusive and less confusing. Third, we must advocate for policy changes. Legislation prioritizing cases for children with complex disabilities could expedite processing and increase funding for Social Security Administration, ultimately reducing backlogs by hiring staff trained to understand the medical documentation that they are requiring. Finally, community support is key. Partnering with organizations like the National Disability Rights Network for free legal assistance and establishing local support groups can provide families with practical and emotional resources to guide them through the entire process. Picture the impact of these reforms. In a reformed system, a family could receive approval within 3 months, accessing funds for medical care and educational support, easing their stress and restoring hope. Contrast this with the current status quo. Without change, families will endure years of delays, denials, and hardships. Ongoing delays could mean children miss critical treatments, leading to the worsening of health and declining family well-being. Beyond individual families, reforming the system benefits the society as a whole. It ensures reasonable access to benefits, aligning with principles of social justice and reducing disparities for marginalized communities. Timely benefits lower long-term health care and social service costs by aiding in early intervention, and they help families stay financially stable, reducing reliance on other public programs. A more efficient and compassionate system also builds public trust in government institutions, showing a commitment to vulnerable populations and enhancing social unity. So, what can we do? I'm calling for all of us to act. Write your local representatives to advocate for Social Security reform. Your voice can push the legislation that prioritizes children with disabilities. Join or support local disability advocacy groups to amplify families' voices. Even sharing resources or stories on social media can raise awareness and inspire action. I'm committed to continuing this fight through community outreach, and I urge you to take a small step, whether it's a letter, a conversation, or even a shared post to help families like mine. In conclusion, the Social Security disability system for children is broken, plagued by long wait times, confusing paperwork, and repeated denials that burden these families. By streamlining processes, improving communication, and advocating for policy changes, and leveraging community support, we can create a system that prioritizes vulnerable children and benefits society as a whole. Reforming this system isn't just about efficiency. It's about restoring hope, dignity, and support for families fighting for their children's futures. I firmly believe that we must act to make this change a reality. Let's work together to ensure no family endures what mine has.